Hello. So somebody asked if I do these watch reviews. If you're new to my channel, you'll see I've been reviewing. Well, I reviewed a watch recently, the new Christopher Ward, and the rest of the reviews I've done, I kind of did because the watches were a bit rare, and I hadn't seen many other reviews of them out there. Essentially, I review watches that I buy. I'm not a journalist. I don't get given or lent these by anyone. I just review watches that I buy, or I've done that historically. I didn't bother doing one of the Tudor because I've had it for a couple of years and there are thousands of reviews out there. Everyone seems to have one. That said, a commenter on YouTube said, they seem to like my style of review, and I quite enjoy doing these, to be honest. And they said maybe I should borrow some watches, and I thought, what, I've got the Tudor, may as well put a review up of there, just if it's of interest to anyone. Like I say, you may well have seen reviews of this watch already, but this is my take on it. So I've had this Tudor Black Bay 58 for a couple of years now. I bought it from an AD. I got a discount. I paid £2,400, I think. And I traded in my old Omega Aquaterra, which at the time was my only watch, my kind of one watch. And that was a 38mm. I'll drop a picture in here. And I really like that watch, but I got a bit bored and the Black Bay came out, so I quite fancied that. So I've had this for a couple of years now. So let me give you my thoughts on it. I also used to have, for comparison, Submariner, the previous generation 40mm maxi case, maxi lugs model. Again, I'll drop a photograph in the video of the sub for comparison, because of course the Black Bay is very comparable to the sub, both owned by Rolex, and both dive watches, very, very similar. I actually did a kind of sort of really geeky side-by-side feature comparison as to which I preferred with regards to the sub or the Black Bay, and again I'll drop that in here. And I think this came out top, which is interesting. I have since sold the Rolex. Actually, I didn't quite feel comfortable walking around London with a 10 grand watch on. Plenty of people do, but it didn't really do it for me. So that's gone, and I've got the Tudor. So yeah, I prefer a lot to this than I did the sub. I prefer the dial. I prefer the gilt indices. It's got a better bezel. It's a 60 click, really kind of confidence inspiring 60 click bezel, whereas the sub is 120 and it's a bit woolly. It doesn't always line up at 12, whereas this lines up really nicely. It's got a really good sound to it. This is COSC or SOSC certified, so really plenty accurate enough. Not that I like accuracy that much. I love the red indice on the bezel at 12. Yeah, this is an aluminium bezel. The sub is a ceramic bezel, but I don't think it's an issue. I haven't got any scratches on this. The watch has held up pretty well with not daily wear, because it's been in my rotation of 5 or 6 watches over the past, but I really like it. The bracelet isn't amazing. Actually, it is nice. It's very comfortable. These faux rivets aren't to everyone's taste, and I really don't like them, to be honest. It doesn't have any micro adjust, unlike the glide lock on the Rolex. That said, it's got these kind of 3 micro adjust holes here, and this does fit me perfectly well. Obviously, micro adjust would be very nice to have, but a lot of watches don't have it, so it's not the end of the world. So that's it on my 7.5 inch wrist. I'll drop some wrist shots in, because it always looks better when you kind of move backwards and zoom in. This looks a little bit large here. It looks like it's overhanging. It's not. It fits absolutely perfectly well. So does the sub, to be fair, or did the sub, I should say. So yeah, what I like about this is just the look. It's really warm, this kind of gilt dial, this sort of brownie. The sub is inky black on the dial. This is kind of got a sort of brownie, vintagey vibe looking to it. I like the crown. It's big. It doesn't have any crown guards. I like the crown guardless design. I love the red at 12. It sort of pops there a little bit. It's solid. It's a really well made dive watch. I'm happy to wear this every day. I probably would have liked a date. I do like a date. I do find a date is quite useful. It doesn't have it. Cleans up the dial. Snowflake hand wasn't originally for me. And again, I can understand why a lot of people don't like it. But hey, I didn't like the Mercedes hand on the sub, to be honest, but it's just something you kind of get used to, and it just works perfectly well for me now. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like I say, the faux rivets on the bracelet aren't great. You can get aftermarket bracelets for these. You can get a half link as well if the sizing is an issue, but this fits me pretty well. It's warm at the moment, so my wrist is as big as it's going to be, about 7.5 inches. like I say, and this fits me absolutely perfectly. I haven't actually measured the accuracy of this, I'll be honest. It's maybe I'll do that and do a follow-up video. Like I say, it's just not really of much importance to me. I tend to wear this for a day or two and then swap it out for something else anyway. Yeah, I like this kind of box crystal here. It's got the real vintage vibe to it. And I like the sort of heritage look. A lot of brands bring back their kind of heritage lines, Longines, etc. And I think classic looking watches, this sort of vintage vibe, I think they look good. You can see it's very reflective crystal. You can see my bald head in the reflection there, whereas the sub's got a lot of anti-reflective coating on it. I'm guessing this one isn't quite so effective, the AR, if it's got it. I'm not actually sure if it's on the outside or the inside or both of the crystal. But yeah, the clasp is nice, it's solid, it's got a solid click to it, fold over clasp, so it's pretty secure there. And yeah, like I say, there's not a whole lot, what I'm like with these reviews. If you've seen any of the others in the past, there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's a watch, but I do like this one. I've had it for a while. I don't know if it'll stick around forever because I've said that I keep watches forever. I think I said that about my first tag, and then I sold it, as with plenty others. But yeah, I've had it for a couple of years and it's done well. If I had the sub as well, yeah, maybe this would feel superfluous, although I had the two side by side for over a year, whereas this does the job perfectly just now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They're a bit more expensive now. People have said watches aren't an investment, but I think it's about $3.5 new nowadays. And yeah, obviously watches aren't an investment, but they do seem to be getting more expensive. So buy them now. That's my mentality anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's my quick review of the Tudor Black Bay 58. Any questions, queries, drop them in the comments, let me know. And thanks for watching.